enemies close.
Rodri.
Friends, 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at?
It's opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck. Country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Like scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month. I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy cards and get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up,
Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Ace Podcast Nation, the home of Rhodri Giggs on football, where we blaze through a bunch of different subjects from the world of football with brutally honest opinions, bit of analysis, and a lot of laughs. But there's a lot of stuff to talk about this week. But before we get into the really, really good stuff, let's talk about the Super 6 and Fantasy Football League is back. We're going to be raising money for all new charities once again. It's the start of the Premier League this weekend, which means it's also the start of our charity Fantasy Premier League and Super 6 leagues. If you want to join, the Fantasy Premier League is a £7 entry. The Super 6 is a £10 entry. The 60% of the pot is used for prize payouts. The remaining 40% is donated to charity, which we also claim matched funding from Lloyds Bank Charitable Foundation. So the charity donation is always doubled. This season, we're raising money for two charities. The first charity is Free Kicks Foundation, which is a football-based charity providing special days out for underprivileged children. And the second charity, is the Cystic Fibrosis Trust. This is a charity which was close to the heart of Rhys Irison. Sadly, Rhys passed away this past Monday. He's been part of our charity leagues since we started it back in lockdown 2020. And we wanted to donate to a charity in his memory. Please do rest in peace, Rhys. And our thoughts and condolences are to his friends and his family and everybody who knew him. In terms of the leagues, everyone who would like to join the leagues, please remember to get your predictions done ASAP. The Fantasy League deadline is 6:30 Friday, and then Super 6 is Saturday 3:00 because of the Friday Premier League game. But it's obviously all for a good cause, but we also have a good time playing it and having a laugh and chuckling about it and mocking each other as we take a batter in each week and whatnot. But as always, I'm joined by Mr. Rhodri Giggs, former Salford City, FC United, Mosley, Bangor, Aberystwyth Town, and pretty much every other club from North Wales, Mid Wales.
No. Only two teams in North Wales. Mid Wales, Aberystwyth, isn't it?
You're asking the wrong person, mate. My geography is shite.
Aberystwyth is like Mid Wales.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you didn't play for all of them.
Lovely place, nightmare to get to.
There we go. Obviously, it's going to be normal service resumed in the Super 6 after Rhodri had a fluky season last year. But we'll be back to me winning for the part, as has been tradition for the many years before that. But every dog has their day, mate, is what the saying goes. So a clock is right at least once a day. So there we go. Right,
I'm on it now. I'm on it every week. I used to probably not do 10 in a season. That's why you probably won.
Come on.
So
we don't need excuses.
I'm on it every week. Bosh, boom, every week. Bosh, you're forgetting. I've got too much things going on. Blah blah blah. Oh, that was your excuse. That's why you
Well,
tailed off at the end. You even stopped doing it because you knew it was over. Pathetic.
Speaking of forgetting, you've also forgotten to retweet the show this evening, but don't want to bring up your memory or your age or anything like that. Just saying. Like,
No,
but
you know why? Because it's not come up on my feed. That's why.
did I not tag you in it? That'd be my fault.
There you
I
go.
don't know if I did. I'm just saying I might not.
In it, and then you'll
you get the desired result then. But mate, we're going to fly through some stuff because I got some. I did. No, I didn't. Fuck's sake. Anyway, right. So there's a few different things I want to talk about. We're also going to predict the Premier League table from top to bottom. The one thing, mate, right, and we have talked about this a little bit before, is the standard of punditry. But this week encapsulated, right, why more and more people are going to YouTubers, podcasts, things like this for their football analysis and their tactical analysis of their teams and their games. Because you had Graham Souness, Tim Sherwood, all the usual subjects. And this is the three kind of points that they were making. I don't know why Manchester United have signed Matthias de Ligt. He's lightweight, he's injury prone, and he lost his place in the side to Eric Dyer. Well, he did have a ligament injury, but he recovered from it. The player the centre back who played the most games for Bayern Munich last year was Upamecano, who played 68 games. De Ligt played 61, and Eric Dyer played 15 games. Started 15 games for Bayern Munich. His centre back partner for 14 of them was Matthias de Ligt. Now you tell me, these guys are getting thousands of pounds to be on Sky, TalkSport, all these places. It's like basic knowledge, mate. And Graham Souness saying he's lightweight. The man is 6'2" and his nickname is Big Boy. Like, it's insane. I find it infuriating, mate, because
the why? Because now there's so much information out there. The average Joe who's watching it is sick of hearing it because they know the truth and they know they're talking crap. So where you got the person, they're probably going to people like us or other people, and there's some good people out there as well, to get the right information, the people who do the research, who know what they're talking about, but doing the research is most important. And these big names, they don't really, because they do it every week. It's just usual suspects every week, the same crap. And this is why people turning off and watching stuff on YouTube and other outlets. And because they're bored of it. They know more than these so-called professionals and pundits, because the information's out there. If you do your proper research.
Well, the thing is, right, mate,
it takes like 2 minutes.
You got the bloody a phone in your hand, right? Everyone's got the internet. Everyone's got everything about their club at the touch of a button. So, like, when we used to watch Match of the Day or Sky back in the day, you watched it because you wanted this insight and this analysis that you didn't have. So, you watch football, you play football, but you wanted to get an insight into the tactical side of it. And now I look at it and I'm watching it and I'm thinking, you get more insight. There's YouTubers. There's a guy called Statman Dave, for instance, who does some sensational analysis of tactics, and some of them use the same bloody graphics that they do on Sky and the same software, and they do it better. They do it more entertaining. Now, yes, there's some good pundits, but unfortunately, the ones that get pushed are the ones who, when you're saying stuff like that, which is just factually wrong. Like, every point was just wrong, and it's just like, surely, and they've got researchers.
De Ligt, hasn't he won 3 leagues in 3 different countries?
Yeah. He won the league with Ajax, then he went to Juventus, won the league there, and then he won the league in Bayern. Obviously, they didn't win the league last year.
And he's only 20. He's only 24. So
it's insane to me, mate. It is really insane. But then it's the same thing as so I think they paid around 50. It works out £51 million for the both of them. And yet on Sky, at one point they were saying they've paid 60 million for de Ligt and 20 million or whatever for the other guy. And it's like, no.
Again,
that's with all the add-ons.
Again, that's why people turn off Sky Sports, because they talk shit as well. So people go to different outlets.
As Theo says there, that's why more and more people are cancelling their Sky subscription and finding other ways to watch their football, because I think people are fed up of it, mate, to be honest. Like, because I find it embarrassing.
Again, it's just people not doing the homework, and people are getting frustrated with it and just turning off and like I say, cancelling the subscriptions.
But don't they have researchers, mate? Don't like, I know maybe not Talk Sport, but like Sky, they all have researchers who do the research. So there's no way.
But they can only do so much when the person has asked a question or they've gone off.
So Tim Sherwood or whatever,
and they're put on the spot. They should know this because they've gone through the notes. It's like that when you do your commentary. I'm sure when you're doing commentary, you've got to do a load of notes. If this player comes up, I can come up with this. It's all about doing preparation and doing your homework. And Tim Sherwood and Graham Souness. Graham Souness, great player. Very good pundit, honest, but yeah, sometimes they're just incorrect, sorry, and people are sick of it.
Yeah, embarrassing, mate. Like, but this is why I suppose YouTube and TikTok and these things are so popular, because you can get better analysis, better people, better information, and it's also a lot of the time on YouTube, it's fans, isn't it? So it's like, people have that relatability as well as getting the information, as well as getting good analysis. You have the relatability, like you're talking to someone in the pub. So I do get it. It's just, it infuriates me, mate. It really does. We have had some transfers this week. We mentioned De Ligt and Mazraoui. Happy with them too?
Yeah. More than happy.
Wan-Bissaka out. Good business by West Ham again.
He's never caused any trouble. Steady, but just wasn't good enough for a top six. I hope he does well at West Ham because, like I say, he causes no issues. Honest player, give 100%, but just didn't cut it at the top level. But I hope he does well at West Ham.
Yeah, I think he will, mate. I think the likes of him, McTominay, they'll go to West Ham or Fulham or wherever they end up going, Everton. And
Napoli on first, McTominay, I mean.
Yeah, he's been linked with Everton, West Ham, Napoli, Fulham, and there was someone else as well. I can't remember who it was. Maybe Ipswich, maybe. I don't know. But I think if he went to any of those clubs, I'm not so sure about the Napoli one, but then it depends where they play him, mate. Like, because I don't think he's a holding midfielder. I don't know what he is, but he's not a holding midfielder. And I guess in a different system, a different league, he might go and do, look at Chris Smalling and Ashley Young. They went out to Italy and did sensationally well. So, sometimes it's the situation, the club, whatever it may be, it suits that person and they'll do well. Dominic Solanke completed his move to Spurs. A lot of money, but is it a good move?
I think it is, yeah.
They needed some depth, didn't they?
You will never know. You just have to wait and see. But personally, I think it will be. It won't be like Liverpool where it'll be in and out. He'll get some real game time. So he's obviously got to get. I've said it before on this program. You get as a centre forward, you score on your first game and get a good start. So if he plays on the weekend and gets a goal, you're off and running. You go 2, 3, 4 weeks without scoring a goal, £65 million. That weight becomes more. The pressure becomes more. The fans kind of lose interest, and so hopefully he gets a good start. I did have him in my FPL team, but I switched him last minute. I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to give him.
I can't remember if I kept him in mind because they play Leicester at the weekend. So I thought, well, he might get off to a good start there.
Yeah, switching with Isaac. So, yeah.
Interesting. Who else was there? There was someone else I can't remember. Just on I noticed Theo was in the chat earlier obviously a Chelsea fan. What do you think of Chelsea, mate? Because we're going to go through our predictions for where we think people are going to finish. I worry for them this year, mate. I'm not sure about the manager at all, and I don't know.
Well, they won the league. They won the league
sure
last year. They should have won by canter, really, but they tailed off.
Who won the league? Oh yeah,
Leicester.
sorry. I thought you were on about Chelsea.
And they tailed off at the end.
Yeah.
So, but they still got the job done. Osherman changes it all if he comes in, and they get Lukaku out. So there's still a lot of movement, and a lot of what have we got? 2 weeks left, so there's going to be still a lot of movement, mate. Once the games start going, people aren't playing, people not happy. I want out, plus people that have been negotiating deals throughout the summer, throughout the pre-season, and they'll be getting done if they get beat or they get a heavy defeat, or someone gets injured. Look at Oscar Bob. It's now City looking for a player. So yeah, there's still a lot of movement to go. Gallagher, will he go? There's a lot of movement at Chelsea, but yeah, if Osherman comes in, it changes everything. Still think it was a poor decision because Chelsea seem to have got their act together at the end of last season, but they've obviously made the change, and he's never managed in the Premier League, so still a big risk, but we'll have to wait and see. Need a good start, man. Need a good start. They need to get this deal done. They need a centre forward. They need a proper centre forward.
Yeah, I think if they get Osherman, I think they might be cooking because they struggled in that striker position. But
then that might.
This squad is insane, mate. Chelsea's squad is mad.
Might elevate Jackson, mate. When you get
competition for places,
yeah, that might elevate his game a bit. So it might send him the other way, but hopefully it spurs him up and makes him a better player, because if he doesn't do his job when he's asked to, then he'll be sat on the bench and this Osherman will come in. So might be good all round. Sterling, they've got some good players, mate. They've got some really good players. It's just getting them all together. Big change again. New manager comes in. He likes his personnel like Poch likes his. He's got to get through all that. But he's had a pre-season to do that. So
they the one thing with Leicester had a little wobble. Just on this comment, sorry, Alex. If you see in the YouTube chat, there's a guy called Will Mellius. She's in there. Speak to him, and he'll sort you out with that. He runs it all and stuff. But get involved in the FPL and the Super Six. Yeah, asking how to get involved.
Yeah, Alex, look at the captions. He's playing for second place, pal. So good luck.
Come on now. With Chelsea, though, mate, or with the manager, should I say? So Leicester had a wobble sort of just after Christmas towards the end of the season. And a lot of Leicester fans criticised the manager for not having a plan B and not adapting. And I think with a squad like Chelsea's, it's so big, I think it's difficult to keep everyone happy in it. And if you're a player if you're a manager who likes to play the same 11 or 12 players, but you've got a squad of 25 who are all first team level, you've got to find a way to get a bit of rotation in there and a bit of give people minutes, because otherwise they all start moaning and then it becomes an issue, doesn't it? So be interesting, mate, because
this is why Pep's so good, you see, because the people that were not playing are chomping on a bit to get on. There seems to be no issues. There probably is issues behind the scenes.
In fairness, when there's issues, he gets rid of them, doesn't he?
I mean, he deals with it pretty quickly. Yeah, that's what good coaches and managers do. But it's a different kettle of fish now. Hopefully he has they're young as well, so there's no really egos,
They're all hungry, hungry to win things.
Hungry, young, talented. So, like I say, they need a centerpiece, that centre forward. If you get him, and then they'll be in the conversation, won't
they? Bissouma from Tottenham, a video got leaked of him doing laughing gas. They never learn, these footballers, do they, mate? Seems like every year some of them, or one of them, or a couple of them.
I don't know. You never played for him.
Well, he started last season. Was it last season where he was doing really well?
Signed from Everton.
No, but Bissouma plays for
Oh, that's the other one. Yeah.
the one from he played for Brighton, didn't he? But start of last season, because I remember when they played United, and early in the season, he was outstanding. Like, so honestly, mate, I just find it astounding. Like, but he's suspended by the club.
Who's the rat? Who's the rat with the video? Who's that rat?
Well, mate, I'm sure you've been through it over the years with people like doing shit like that, like leaking videos and all that sort of shit.
No, I was lucky really, because there wasn't any videos when I was going. Right, there was videos about when I was going out. Yeah.
Well, I always say, mate,
I got away with half the stuff that I did, but
I always say if there had been camera phones when I was a teenager, I would have literally been unemployable forever. Like, I was a fucking nightmare. Like, but
yeah, so he was lucky. So yeah, no cameras. But yeah,
someone stitched him up, just like the same people who stitched up Dele Alli.
Why they do him anyway? He's like a crackhead. Crack. What is it?
Hippie crack, isn't it? Or something. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, you crackhead.
Stupid, man.
Well, crackhead, Premier League football.
Yeah, I'll never understand them, mate. But I don't know. What do you make of League Cards?
This generation is just I don't get it. What does it do? Oh, it gives you a little buzz. What? Sucking a balloon? Yeah. And these little thingies do what? These little what them metal canister things, whatever they are.
Oh, like I know, nitrous oxide or whatever.
Yeah. You see these people, you put them up at the lights, and you see these balloons going up and down. Crackhead driving. Just don't get it. This generation, mate.
Yeah, fuck, didn't I? What do you make of Lee Carsley? Interim in England manager. I think you called him, mate, didn't you? When Southgate got sacked, I'm sure you said.
Yeah, I've called a few things, but I'm not.
Come on,
I don't.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm just saying. I think you did call
this. To boast about it. I'm pretty sure this time last week, I was saying, Burnley are probably favourites. They'll win the Championship, but you went, nah.
I didn't say no. I said, like, I just don't think they'll run away with it. They did look good, man. They'll lose. They'll lose on the weekend, mate. They'll probably lose 1-0 on the weekend, I think.
Well, you hope they do, because Turf Moor, they're looking good at the minute,
Yeah.
But yeah, I get a few things right, but I'm very modest. Don't like to boast.
Yeah, so humble, isn't you? So humble. But do you think it's a good shout? He's got a very good reputation as a
like
coach,
him. Told you I like him. It's the natural pathway. Look at Spain; they've just done it, and he's won the under-21. Then he won the Euros with the main Spain squad. So I like it. Some of the players already know him from playing for the under-21s as well. He had an okay career. Solid Premier League player, good career. No drama. No, like Southgate, really. No drama. We're all about the football. You don't get no crap outside of football. So, yeah, I like it.
Do you think any chance he gets the job on a permanent basis?
Well, yeah, because with the team he's got, and if he goes a little bit more offensive, they'll win games, mate. They'll win games. So as long as they play with a bit more flamboyance in the team. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
He's got a perfect opportunity, mate. Yeah. Perfect opportunity, because he's got a good team, good squad, very good squad.
He's in a no-lose situation, isn't he? Because, like, at the end of the day, he's interim manager, so he's not expected to keep the job.
And he's got Gordon and Gordon and Zaka are injured. Bring Grealish and Rashford in.
Yeah.
He's got wealth of talent. Centre forwards probably a bit, but now he's got Ollie Watkins, got Evan Toney, he's got Harry Kane. So yeah, he's he might now. Other people might come into the fix. Probably not, but Mason Greenwood starts scoring 35, 40 goals in that French league, then
Well, apparently, someone I read somewhere that he might have pledged his allegiance to Jamaica. Has he played a full international for England? Because
no, I
I
don't
thought
think
he
so.
had.
No.
I thought he did because he was in the squad, wasn't he? Because he got disciplined.
Yeah, I don't think he played, did he?
Yeah. So whether I don't know. I would
Steve
imagine.
McLaren's there now, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, they've had just reading now. They've had some talks with him, and it makes sense if England have told him basically. It ain't
Now, will he
gonna
turn
happen,
Jamaican like he did Dutch?
Well, like what's his face? Steve McLaren did. I don't know if he'd get away with that these days, though, mate. Would he? Like, you'd probably get all sorts of shit.
You go and get some yamming rice.
Go on, mate. Yeah, mate. Look, I think that I think Steve McLaren will do a good job at Jamaica, mate. I do. He's very experienced coach, isn't he? Very, he's coached at a top level, and I'm not sure what the Jamaican squad is like, but I'd imagine they've got, some fairly decent players from around Europe and around the world.
Yeah, Antonio, he's played Jamaica for West Ham.
Leon Bailey, Damari Gray, Mikel Antonio, Andre Blake, some good players in there, mate. Casey Palmer, got some real good players in there, mate.
Yeah, so
they should be doing better. Jamal Lowe, yeah, loads of players in there to choose from. I mean, you had someone
what a job that is. Where's head office? Kingston, Jamaica.
Yeah, no. Well, he's carrying on his job at United, isn't he? So
really,
yeah, he seems to be. I don't know if that's just an
doesn't really do
thing.
much. Just like sits there with his clipboard. So I don't.
Well, I think now that those other two have come in, I think he's more of an administrator, like what Mike Phelan used to do for Fergie. Running that side of things, whilst other people doing the coaching. But right, what are we looking like for time? Let's say I want to have a good discussion about these Premier League predictions, because I'd like to predict the league to see, where we think teams are going to come, see if there's any outliers, see if there's any surprises in our predictions. So basically, we're going to go from bottom to top, and we're going to say who we think is going to finish there and why. So, bottom of the league, I have got Southampton. And I think they are going to struggle this year. They haven't made a great deal of signings. Whilst they have a great setup off the field in terms of their academy and stuff like that, you do need a bit more than that. The Premier League and the Championship is a very different animal. And I just feel like they're going to be the ones who finish bottom of the league. But who have you got bottom of the league, mate?
Difficult one, that, isn't it?
It is tricky because there's a few candidates, isn't there?
Who's the Ipswich, isn't it? What do you think? Yeah, I'll probably go with Southampton as well. I'm trying to think of a different one, but why would I just say, just for the sake of it, Southampton, not many signings, no experienced manager. Well, in the Premier League anyway. Steve Cooper's done a bit of Premier League. He's got experience in the Premier League, and Kieran McKenna has not been in the Premier League, but he's obviously number 2 to number 1 to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so he's obviously has experience a little bit of it, albeit not making the decisions. Yeah, Southampton, go on. Southampton.
So Southampton bottom. I've gone Leicester City next. Again, I think they're gonna struggle a little bit. I think they might get the odd result here and there, but I just don't think they'll be able to garner enough momentum in terms of their results to stay up. They're trying to get Wilfred Zaha on loan from Galatasaray, which would obviously be a big difference to the attacking side of things. I'm just not sure they get enough goals. They got, Jamie Vardy still playing up front at 37. I know he probably comes off the bench more than starts, but your new manager, I do like Steve Cooper.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to go for Leicester. I'm going to go for third. But
they also lost Dewsbury Hall, mind as well, which I think is a big blow. So sorry, go on.
Where did he go to?
Chelsea. With the manager.
Right, yeah. I'm going to go Bournemouth.
Interesting. That's an interesting one. So
we've not replaced Solanke yet.
Yeah.
They need to, and I think the talk says Eddie Nketiah. I don't think he's good enough to keep him up.
Alex says Ipswich rock bottom. They still got a championship squad.
Yeah, I'm going for Ipswich third from bottom.
So I've got third from bottom. This might shock a few people, but I'm going Brentford third from bottom. But there's a reason why I think that Brentford might end up getting relegated. Number one is I think Ivan Toney is Manchester bound before the end of the window. And number two is I think the manager will go before the end of the season.
Oh, well, that changes my view on it. Because my view, if the manager's there, then they stay up. If he goes, then yeah, they could be in trouble, depending on who they get.
So obviously, I've added like a hypothetical, but I do think those things will happen. So I've gone with Brentford third from bottom. Yeah,
I've gone Ipswich, Leicester fourth from bottom.
I thought you said Bournemouth.
Yeah, Bournemouth. So Southampton, Bournemouth.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, right, I agree.
Keep up.
Yeah. So fourth from bottom, I'm going to go with Forest. I think they've got enough to stay up, but I don't think they've got enough to push on. They've got some good young players, some good players, but I just don't think they got enough to really kick on. So you said fourth from bottom Ipswich, didn't you? Fifth from bottom.
No. Fourth from bottom Leicester.
Leicester, sorry, mate.
Third from bottom Ipswich.
Got you. And then who have you got? So you don't think Kieran McKenna's got it? The
just
coaching.
It's one of them that's going to go to the wire. I think. But I could be totally wrong where they don't get any points. But people saying, these players, some of them are League One players. Don't be fooled by that. No, some players
taking them up twice.
In League One, in the Championship, possibly in League Two. They can play in the Premier League given the chance. It's just a roll of dice sometimes, a sliding door moment. Some players can play if they, and they've shown it. League One, not going to do the Championship. Oh, they've done it. All right, why can they not go to the Premier League? Yes, it's a bigger league, but why not? Why not?
So Will asks the question. He says, "Aren't Bournemouth being linked with a new 40 million striker?" I think they've been linked with Tammy Abraham. Is he got enough goals in him?
I did see that. You know what? I think I did see that. But if they bring in a 40 million striker that I've never heard of, Premier League is difficult.
So has Tammy Abraham got enough in him to get the goals to keep him up? Do you think? Done quite well in Italy.
Possibly. He's tall, he's strong, he's athletic. Possibly.
So I've gone Wolves next up. I think they might struggle a bit this year. They lost some big players, like they've lost Kilman, they've lost Pedro Neto. A few of their other bigger players have been linked with moves away. It obviously depends on who they bring in, but it's going to be tricky for me. So I've gone with Wolves. Who have you got above?
Nottingham Forest. Wolves will be mid-table. Gary O'Neill's a very good coach.
Very, very good manager, and that's why I've got him above relegation, because even though they've lost those players, I think he keeps them up. Right. Then I've got Bournemouth, pretty much for the similar reasons to you, although I do think with the money they get from Solanke, you'd like to think they'll spend it fairly sensibly and get players in to replace. So,
well, if they spend that on a £40 million striker today, let's have a look.
But Alex says Evan Nielsen is going to Bournemouth and he's better than Solanke. So that's his opinion.
Is he been in the Premier League? Is he experienced? It's totally different. We've seen this before, haven't we?
Yeah, some players they come, especially if he's coming over from a.
He'll need to be because that's what they need to keep up Bournemouth. That's what Solanke's goals kept them up. So they need people like that. They're invaluable.
So he's coming from Porto. Agreed a fee of 40.2 million. Brazilian striker Evan Nielsen. Brazilians have been a bit hit and miss in the Premier League, haven't they? When you look back over the years, they've ones that have shone elsewhere when they've come to the Premier League and they've kind of struggled a little bit. So that one will be interesting.
It's changed a lot. You get a lot more over the years. It's been better.
Mm. And then next in the league, I've got Ipswich Town just above Bournemouth. I think Kieran McKenna is an outstanding coach, but I also think the togetherness in that group and in that side. But I also think they're better. They got more quality than people think. They play good football. But I believe that the togetherness in that side is like no other team in the Premier League. They've been together since, they got back-to-back promotions. They play good football. They will bring a couple in to strengthen. But I think they've got exceptional coach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7th from bottom.
I'm gonna go
Everton. Oof. Yeah, they're not. So they they won't be in the relegation battle this year then for Everton.
Well, they will, but it's going to be tight down there.
Yeah, I agree. I've got Everton then above Ipswich. Next, who have you got next above Everton then?
Crystal Palace.
Oof. They got a good manager, mate. They finished the season real strong last year, but losing
a very good player, mate. Losing a very good player.
Yeah, they lost Elise, and then they're losing Gahey. Let me ask you a question, mate, right? They sold their best player, Michael Elise, to Bayern Munich for 45 million.
It's debatable who's the best player, because Eze's...
All right, but he's one of their best players. And they're trying to sell Mark Gahey to Newcastle for 65 million. Attackers normally go for more than defenders. So explain to me how that works. Is it just because he's English?
Yes. And it's Premier League to Premier League. It's always been like that, mate. It's always been like that.
It's interesting to me, because Alicia
is always been like that. Premier League club to Premier League club, it's extortionate. Where, it's always been that way. Plus, if you don't want to sell someone, you make him a bid, make me a higher offer. I don't want to sell him. But if you offer me something that I can't turn down, then you've got to understand that with Bayern Munich as well, that Elise might have been going in saying, listen, if you don't accept this bid, then I'm off or I'm going to cause issues.
Yeah.
Probably that's not how it went down. It's probably, but yeah, it's always been that way with me. English club to English club, it's extortionate. Then with the Michael Carrick when happened, was it 19 million? It's like, whoa, that's a lot. But thinking about it now,
bargain.
It was an absolute bargain because he was a Rolls Royce of a player. What a player, midfielder. But I remember, someone like Andy Carroll, 35 million. So it's always been that way.
I'm going to fly through a couple of these, mate, just because I've got to keep an eye on the time. So I got Everton next, and then I've got Fulham, and then I've got Brighton. So if you give me your next three, I got Everton,
Brentford, Fulham, West Ham.
Interesting.
No, Brentford, Fulham, Wolves.
Okay, so I got Brighton in 11th. Then I've got West Ham 10th, Crystal Palace 9th. I've got Chelsea in 8th. So give me your 10th, 9th, and 8th.
West Ham, I've said Wolves, haven't I?
Yeah. Well, no. I know you said they were going to be mid-table. You didn't say where.
Yeah, so this is Wolves. Wolves, West Ham, Brighton.
Okay. So then I've got in 7th place, I've got Tottenham, 6th Newcastle, and 5th Liverpool.
7th Newcastle, 6th Aston Villa, and 5 Tottenham.
Okay. And then top 4, I've got Aston Villa, Manchester United in 3rd, Manchester City 2nd, and Arsenal 1st.
Oh, really? Yeah. So I have a Chelsea, United 3rd or 4th, either them two. Arsenal, Manchester City again.
Let me ask you a question. And if Arsenal finish 2nd again, will their fans begin to get frustrated with Arteta because he hasn't won anything yet with them?
No.
No, I'm not saying they should. I'm asking the question.
He's won the FA Cup.
Knowing what they are like.
He won the FA Cup with someone else's team. But they're competing, mate, and they'll just think, Pep's not going to be here forever unless he signs another contract. But I don't see that happening because these charges are coming fast now. So one of these charges is going to stick, and it's not going to be good for City. So I don't think he'll want to stay after that. So yeah, no. You get beat off this Manchester City team and Pep, mate. It's nothing to be scoffed at. But they have to start taking these chances. 2 years on the bounce now, where they've had a chance and they've failed miserably. So it keeps on happening, possibly, but they think they've got a very good player. I mean, coach. But it's all about winning at the end of the day. If you keep on coming 2nd, then they could. But who would you bring in? Who's out there that would come in? It could go worse. Be careful what you wish for. You could come in and that's it. They're out of the Champions League spot. Manager comes in, no one gets on with. They haven't got relationship like Mikel Arteta says built up with these players. So they're just against the juggernaut in Manchester City at the minute with Pep. Some of the players are aging. Rhodri's had a long season. Will he play every game again this season without getting injured? I very much doubt it. You always see him, break down or get an injury because they played so much football. I don't think 3 weeks break is long enough. I think 4 or 5 weeks is right. And he plays a lot of games, Rhodri. So, De Bruyne, he's getting a bit older. But they're still rolling. So, no, I fancy City still.
Yeah, I think it's fair. Like it's difficult to see anyone but City. But I just think Arsenal maybe this year they've signed a real good like that Calafieri is top defender to go alongside the defense they already had.
Bit of bad luck,
mate. Haven't got a striker.
Bad luck like they did last year, mate. They start first game of the season. I think it was Timber got really bad injury.
But that's what I mean. Like they've still got Saliba and Gabriel, haven't they? They like to add in that extra centre back option.
It's goals they need, mate. It's not nothing.
Yeah, no, they need a striker.
They're probably the best 2 centre backs in the country together. It's goals they need. It's not.
Well, funny enough, mate, I heavily suspect that Ivan Toney will end up at United because I think McTominay will go and they'll sign Ugarte, and I think Sancho will go and I think they'll sign Ivan Toney. And what I'm fascinated by that is I think that those 2 signings will. I already like as it is now.
Do you think it's weird that he's not gone already, though? Don't you think he's
well, that's I think it's outrageous.
A club's been on to him and said, "Listen, see the season out. You come to us, and we'll give you a big wage."
Maybe, but I just think
we haven't got the funds for you. We're building a team, and I think next year you'll be perfect for us. If he doesn't go anywhere, that's the conversation that's been had.
Yeah, definitely.
Why do you not go to one of these teams? They're screaming out for centre forwards.
But I think United quietly have been. I put them third, and I think quietly they're building something quite interesting. The players they brought
All
in.
about the start, mate. They get a slow start because
Well,
they have
do
to
you know
get a good start tomorrow?
the biggest problem United had last year was that they couldn't play a high line because the centre backs they had couldn't play a high line, so they kept them drop deep, and then Casemiro was trying to cover too much, like more grounds than any human being could possibly cover, and they just kept getting exposed. If they now play a high line with either De Ligt, Martinez, Yoro, like three excellent centre backs, they got an attacking fullback on both sides. I just think that you might see a different version of United, especially if they get Ugarte.
I don't think we need a midfielder.
Well, that's if he comes in.
There were still gaping holes in that midfield. I know with the defenders pushing up, there'll be less holes, but yeah, they still need. I think for me, is Amrabat coming back? He's not, is he? Even though
it looks like they're going to get Ugarte.
I think he's not coming back.
Mate, I've been blowing the horn of Ugarte since last summer when PSG were linked with him. I think he's one of the best young defensive midfielders in the world. Like, he is real good. To get him over but he's exactly what you need. You need someone to break up play and give it to Mainu and give it to Bruno and just do all the dirty work. And he's young and he's athletic, and it's exactly what you need. And I just think
squad's coming together now. You've got quality on the bench as well. You've got Mason Mount. You got Rashford. You got Ahmad. You've got this kid that was brought from this Bologna, the kid.
Oh yeah, Xerxes.
Dutch kid. So you got Rashford. You got Højlund. You got Sancho. You got Anthony. You got Garnacho. So yeah, it's just a still thing with light midfield.
Yeah, it's just that one, isn't it? Right, let's do our very quickly Super 6 predictions for the week, mate. Arsenal versus Wolves.
Do you want me to miss this week? Give you a start? Or
it's boring, isn't it?
No? All right, sweet.
Just embarrassing yourself, like.
I was just asking. I was just being polite. No, to start getting nasty. What's the team? What's the games?
Arsenal Wolves first up. I've got 3-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, 2-0 Arsenal.
Newcastle Southampton.
Well, 4-1. 4-0.
I got 2-0 Newcastle there. Everton versus Brighton. Brighton will be fascinating this year, wouldn't they? See if they can maintain
1-0 Everton. Surprise you.
I got 2-2 in that one. West Ham at home to Aston Villa. Two very fancy teams by the pundits.
3-2 West Ham.
I got 2-1 Villa. Brentford at home to Crystal Palace.
1-1 Joe.
Right, I've gone 1-1 as well. I'm not going to change it either. I'm going to leave it 1-1.
I'll change it. 2-2.
There you go. Chelsea at home to Manchester City.
Don't you jinx me. Chelsea at home to Manchester City. I'm going to go 1-1. This will be a draw, this.
I got 3-1 Man City. And then just for fun, we'll go, you got Fulham Man United tomorrow, your team.
3-1 United.
I'm going to go 2-1 United. And then Cardiff away to Burnley on Saturday. I'm going to go with 1-0 Cardiff for shits and giggles.
Jump to be honest, or jump to...
No, you say what you think it's going to be. I'm obviously going with my heart a little bit, but we did some
my heart says 2-0 Cardiff. My head says 3-1 Burnley. So there you go.
Yeah. Cardiff, my one hope is our away form was excellent last year, and we did a few smash and grabs on the big teams. And we got really good defenders. So my hope is we can keep it tight, pinch a goal, 1-0, smash and grab. Let's go. Get the season off to a
best result in football away from home, 1-0. Smash and grab.
Beautiful. Absolute beautiful. Right, I've got to shoot off quickly, mate, because I got to go and pick my son up before I go and jump on the Burnley fan channel to do a preview. So, as always, mate, it's a great pleasure, and I'll see you. I know that I'll speak to you on the weekend. in
Yeah.
a bit.
Give it a shot.